And because everybody else is doing it, I present to you all this. It's the very YouTube thing to do. Greetings, fellow Vita fans. This is James with PS Vita at 2 a.m. coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. And make sure to leave me your top picks for the year 2021 down in the comment section below. Oh, and did I mention that we're doing the best PS Vita games for the year 2021? Because we're doing the best PS Vita games for the year 2021. And while that year wasn't the most jam-packed with PS Vita titles compared to other years, we had roughly like, 30 or so games released, it still had more than enough to make one of these top lists. So let's begin. And of course, these are just my personal picks here, going in no particular order, starting off with Sturnfront. Remember how I just said a few seconds ago that this list was going to be in no particular order? Well, the reason I'm choosing this one first is because it's violent, and I love me some violence. Let's just hope they never write a book about me. And as some of you out there might know, Sturmfront is an arcade action game in the vein of Commando, Ikari Warriors, and Shock Troopers. And since I love all of those games except for the NES port of Ikari Warriors, let's not open up that can of worms, that's what makes it a winner in my book. And of course it's mixed with bullet hell elements, so how could you not love that? And you play as some sort of weird cyborg battle unit or something like that, trying to kill hordes and hordes of mutant aliens, and it has a very heavy metal soundtrack, so I mean, everything about this game just oozes awesomeness. And hey, it's violent enough for me, so it's definitely violent enough for you. Unless you don't like violence, then you might want to check out the next game. Well, maybe not, because this game is pretty violent too. Yeah, I think we all knew at this point that ScourgeBringer was gonna be on my list. I know, it's kind of anticlimactic, but man, it's such an awesome game. And one I've yet to beat because it's so gosh darn difficult. So ScourgeBringer, just what the heck is a ScourgeBringer? Well, in this world's universe, it's a fast-paced, free-moving, road-like platformer. And you play the role of Kaya, who is a girl, although you might not be able to even tell that because the sprite is so small. But trust me, it's a girl. And she has to hack and slash her way through ancient machines guarding the seals of her past. And maybe the redemption of humanity, because you always have to have the redemption of humanity in these sort of post-apocalyptic, ancient machinery type games. I think that's a rule or something. Wow, now there's a rabbit hole I never thought you'd go down. You have to work your way through this 2D game in different areas on the map, which randomly generate, have to kill all enemies on screen in order to advance to the next area of the map, until you find certain rooms or items which will let you progress even further, which usually this comes in the form of a boss or whatnot, all while performing off slick aerial combos, which are a snap to pull off. And remember how I said earlier how this game is very hard? Well, it's very hard. The enemies can be quite aggressive, so you always have to stay on your toes about what's going on where on the map. And if you die, you gotta start all over from the beginning. Yep, there are no checkpoints in this game. So if having a nice pulling your hair out good time sounds like a good time to you, then, well, try this one out. It'll certainly make you pull your hair out. And me too, if I had any. And even though Kaya herself is a bit too pixelated to be my personal waifu, it's still a great game. So I feel it's high time we put a shmup on this list, so let's put a shmup on this list, and I'm choosing Habroxia 2. Actually, come to think of it, I think I might have been the only shmup that had been on the PS Vita for 2021. But it's here, so we're happy about that. And Habroxia 2, which might I add is a huge, major forward step from Habroxia 1, basically everything is bigger, badder, better in this version. You'll get 20 unique bosses to fight. You can customize your ship with different weapons as you progress through the games, in the form of points and currency, which I think comes to like 64 permanent ship upgrades, which you can downgrade at your choosing in case you want to make the game harder, different routes in the levels, a new game plush which features a lot harder enemies and bosses, being able to play the game in both horizontal and vertical modes, and it comes with a boss rush mode, which it's okay I guess. Boss rush modes kind of frustrate me, just because I'm so terrible at them. Everything here is solid. The only thing I didn't like about this game is that the story was pretty, paper thin. You get a short cutscene at the beginning and then a short cutscene at the end, which did have a little bit of emotion to it, I will admit, but there's not a whole lot there. You just gotta shoot, and shoot some more. And hey, what could be better than that? Well, Maybe our next game will be much better than that. Who knows? This is Horizon Chase Turbo. Yeah, I bet many of you out there thought I was gonna call it Horizon Zero Dawn again. Now didn't you? That was a pretty embarrassing mistake I made last time I talked about this game, but let's move on now, shall we? In Horizon Chase Turbo, think what would happen if the PS Vita got its own version of Outrun. That's basically what this game is, in both looks and feel, because the other cars that you're racing don't exactly really have their own AI. Sure, they're technically in the race, but they're just kind of moving forward. They won't try to box you in or anything like that. They pretty much have my IQ, I guess. It's mostly up to you to weave your way out of traffic in order to get first place and win the game. Now, don't think that this is easy by any stretch of the imagination, because this is one of those racing games where if you hit the rear end of one of your opposing cars, it will send you back, which can kind of get annoying, I will admit, but the controls are so solid and the game just oozes so much style and man, is so fast paced that I kind of just forgave it. And as you progress through the game, you'll be able to unlock even more cars and upgrade each one of them to your liking. My only minor complaint is that the load times on the PS Vita version can get a little bit on the lengthy side. I mean, we're not talking Corpse Party lengthy here or anything, but it's pretty noticeable. But other than that, you're in for a fantastic experience. And thankfully, no angry girlfriends to yell at you, unlike Outrun. And now for the pièce de résistance. And you probably know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I'm choosing Unmetal. I'm assuming this comes as a no surprise to anybody here. While yes, this game did technically go up for pre-order back in late 2020, we didn't actually get our hands on it until the year 2021, so I'm including it on this list. Now I'm not going to go into too much extreme detail here with this game because I've already talked about it plenty times in the past, but just know that it is a spiritual successor to the Metal Gear Solid franchise, a very solid one too, I may add, both in its gameplay and humor, which might I add, the entire story is in fact voice acted, with an ending that, oh man, it really threw me for a loop, but it is in true fashion to the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And yeah, pretty much everything that you can do in Metal Gear Solid, you can do in this game, only it's more in a 2D-like experience, at least when compared to the 3D Metal Gear Solid games currently. And what more can I say? If you love Metal Gear Solid, you'll love this. Snake! Snake! Fox! I apologize, you didn't come here for cringe, you came here for top PS Vita games of 2021. Or maybe you did come for cringe as well. Well, I guess I satisfied that. And that will wrap up my entire list of my personal favorite PS Vita games that were released in the year 2021. But please let me know, guys, what games you loved in the year 2021. Are you still playing them? Have you heard of any of these games? What are your picks? Please let me know down below. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. A huge thank you and shout out to all these wonderfully generous supporters who help make this content possible, including Gutter Drums, Hemdall Imber, Wendy K, David Ray, Phantom XRS, Saul Ramirez, Kyle Brooks, JR, E-Rock, Per Sterner, Adam Thury, Sculpture Tugel TCG, BMF, Kramer Malarkey, BG Legends, Jared Hado, Kevin Enright, Heston Joseph, Crazy Cat, Rodrigo Vera, Hero Acer, Adam Sondi, PS Vita S, Richard Cruz, Joseph Shavak, Jelly, H-Hitter, Michael O'Connor, Chris Foxhound, Sabin Fire, Robert Sylvester, Aridri, Jamie, Hector Gonzalez, Kayunko, Burzin Mystery, Juan M. Hermosillo, Eric DeWitt, Tasha Monty, Mazgus, Matt Hargett, Smug Wolf, Rizal Pliskin, 1488 Dental, Azumara, Nintendo Switch at 2 a.m., Donut Valley, Ricardo Martinez, Dr. Super Artie, Makis Blob, B Mystery, Matt Fox, Reiko Star, Neo Arashi, Milk Sama, Bushin Ryu Cat, Robert Johnson, Zicrito, Frayton, Alan Iwazuk, and Shin Snake. And a special thank you to Matthew Lehman and William Villigren for the recent PayPal donation. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much. And maybe you guys did come here for cringe.